Ryan Pinney, I acknowledge him sitting here. I was in cabinet when our golden boy made a swim in Melbourne. I want to acknowledge you, brother. God bless you. And may the Pinneys live on. You belong to a class of Papua New Guineans who choose to be Papua New Guinean at 75. This country is yours as much as it's mine, my brother. I demand all white Papua New Guineans. When he made that swim, against Somalia, I was in Somalia's cabinet. He told us, stop cabinet. We rushed out to we had a TV, that old cabinet room, and we were all cheering. That entire 8 seconds or 9 seconds or 10 seconds, cabinet froze, our heart stopped. Go Pinney, and when he got the gold, I tell you, one moment, just 10 seconds of swim that brought the country together. Thank you, Ryan, for that memory. That was certainly amongst the joys we experienced in our country. I will remind us, 1991, when we hosted Pacific Games here, it brought joy to us. I want to remind us when our daughter, Dika Toy, was introduced for the first time and continues to play out today. One of the stand is named after her. She recently made history as the longest-serving participant in Olympic by participating in 4 or 5 different Olympic Games. But I remember in 2015, when we hosted, I can't brag, but possibly the best Pacific Games. And she again did a magic, Toa Whistle did a magic, everyone else did. We were joyous in 2015. Power of sport. Sport is a tool that will lead to development in our country because it unites the people in the core first. And when unity is abound, everything else moves on and moves progressively forward. At Rugby League, I've mentioned Olympics, I've mentioned other sports, I've mentioned boxing. What about Rugby League? Lest we forget the John Wakambi team in 1977. Yeah, the mighty John Wakambi team. John Wakambi used to be my coach when I was at university for Post Puma. At 1994, only 1 year I played under him and I ran off to the bush in Tari to be a politician. 1977, we beat France 37-6. Again, 2 years out of independence, sport brought joy to the hearts of Papua New Guineans. I was doing grade 9 in Goroka in 1986 when the mighty Kiwis came. Mighty Kiwis came, 24-22. Some of my favorite players, Darius Hali, Tio Eve, Arebo Tamaku, Lata Toy, that mighty team that defeated the mighty Kiwis that time. It brought joy to our hearts. Yes, I remember standing outside. I had no money to go into the field to watch. I was grade 9 in Kabifa. I walked 2 hours to go and stand outside Lopi Street. Minister, you know Lopi Street in Goroka. You know the place, we were standing outside just to be around outside and hear those inside making noise was good enough for us. Yeah, it brought joy to our hearts. 1996. Who would have forgotten 1999? When Marcus Bai was part of that victorious Melbourne. Melbourne, my favorite team. Thank you, Cameron, for coming. Melbourne, God Almighty Melbournes. Well, my wife converted me to Brisbane, but I'm still a Melbourne at heart. And I confess, one of the reasons why myself and many Papua New Guineans love Melbourne is the fact that Melbourne continues to be hospitable to Papua New Guinean players. Thank you, Cameron. And those supporters have not left Melbourne as yet. Even when our own team enters 2028, Melbourne will always remain our second or third team for many, many Papua New Guineans. But 1999, Marcus Bai brought joy to us. Who would have thought this boy? When I was playing first grade in PRL in 1991-92, Michael Marum my brother Michael Marum was there. He was a PRL guy. Marcus Bai was a PRL guy. And Marcus was still in the C grade. Who would have thought straight from PRL, my own PRL that we all end up being scratches every Sunday after we played PRL. Who would have thought he would have gone straight, enter into NRL, lift a trophy in 1999. 6 years later, he brought joy to our hearts. And of course, 20 years later, Justin Olam, again with Melbourne, lifted another trophy that brought joy to our heart, united our country still. 2015, when we entered Interest Cup, Michael Maroon was able to lift a trophy only 3 or 4 years after entering the Interest Cup. That was another moment of joy for our country. And so I want to conclude by saying, sport is a development tool. We're not playing minky-monkey here. We're not coming around just in a spur of a moment trying to make sure we have a team in NRL. This concept was first mounted. I was in cabinet when Somare cabinet allocated 20 million kina to then Minister Philman Mbel to get out the amount for us to have a team in NRL. The process has taken long, but we're here now, and I just want to conclude by thanking the Australian government. As I said in my speech in Canberra, you and me are joined at the hips forever. You and me are joined at the hips forever. The ambience of PNG's lifestyle is a value add to the Australian legacy. The ambience of a PNG lifestyle is a value add to the Australian legacies. It was here in this very, very field that Australian flag was lowered for the last time in September 15th, 1975. It was not torn down, it was lowered for the last time. And in the spirit we exist, in coexistence, peace, harmony. Yes, once in a while we have our spur of the moment conversations, but intrinsically, deep inside, is common values, common respect, mutual trust, understanding, coexistence. And this one investment alone is an investment that will galvanize, not every year when Kumul is playing, or every 2 years, but every week, 365 days a year, every week right through, there will be conversation on one team. Because that one team will have the national dream, that one dream to be victorious. And I want to say, the victory extends beyond rugby field. The victory must go towards giving these children a better life in their own country. Is that okay? It starts now in the investment. Our government commits to partner in city government to fixing Port Moresby, safer Port Moresby, better Port Moresby, organized Port Moresby. We remain committed to opening roads from Port Moresby to Lae. By 2028, all the businessmen in Highlands and Mombasa can drive from Lae down into Port Moresby, watch their sport and drive back. It's just like driving from Canberra to Sydney. Just that we don't have any roads. We're building the road now as I speak. Before September this year, I'm going to drive myself, my four-wheel, to cross over the overextended ranges into Lae for the first time in our country's history. We want to construct our country into a modern, livable, better country, and it starts with all of us coming together. This one team has the greatest portent and potential to unite the most diverse nation, as Martin Benny did, as Tomadik did, as Ryan Pinney did, as Justin Olam did, as my daughter Dika Toa continues to do, as Walter Snobel did, Stanley Nandex, and all the great sportsmen of our country and sportswomen. That team we are stitching together, symbolizing our team called PNG, must be victorious on and off the field. And I want to say to all our young children in our country, especially to the boys, have you ever wondered why your national anthem says, "Oh, arise, all his sons"? I sometimes wonder, what is the meaning behind the absence of girls in this national anthem? Speaking at 2025, at the 50th anniversary of our nationhood, it is now time for all the sons of this land to defend this land, because it is really our daughters who need our support the greatest. The crafters of our Constitution, the composer of a national anthem was given deep insight by God to see the problems in 2025. Your Prime Minister alone cannot fix this. Your ministers alone cannot fix this. It starts from the floor up as we come from the top down. Let's meet halfway. The halfway spot, halfway space is all the sons, respecting daughters, respecting this country. There is no point, there is redundancy in you supporting your team every Sundays if you don't respect the sister in your neighborhood, the daughter in your neighborhood, the woman in our neighborhood. This team, one dream, one aspiration, one country, one nation, one people. This team must be the moment in which our national character is shaped for the better, ignoring tribe, ignoring personality, ignoring politics, ignoring whatsoever, but putting your country first. Because this team, every time it is played, will be your country first. Are you willing to sacrifice your country first moment in your community, in your place? That is the question I leave with you. No point coming to support this team if you cannot sacrifice for your country in your community. Our rugby players will play, the girls and boys. In 2028, we're preparing for them to play. But you must start to prepare to host a team now. And hosting teams starts in your heart, being better citizens of our country. God bless.